This is the New Leaf Podcast.
Anyways, let's talk about the big names, the big wigs. Starting with PlayStation. First thing they showed was The Last Guardian. And I'm sure Tyler would probably be excited about this, but I was like, I have no idea what I'm looking at right now. Because I never played Shadow of the Colossus. Apparently that's a good game.
Yeah, that was a really good game on the PlayStation 2.
I don't know anything about it. This is the spiritual successor to it, I guess. You're just like a kid, and this is the first time we've shown gameplay. This is the first time we've had official word. Yes, this game is happening for real, and we're showing gameplay. And it's just like a kid running around in this I don't know. Did you watch it?
No, I did not watch it. So
it's this temple ruins area or something, and this kid's running around, and he has the big bird dog thing. I don't know what kind of animal it is. It's like a dog with bird claws and feathers and wings.
It sounds like a griffin.
It's not a griffin.
Are you stupid?
No, it's not a griffin. I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of.
Whatever.
It's some mythical creature. It's not anything real. Not that a griffin
Obviously.
is real. So I mean, people are super excited about it, but I was like, I have no idea what I'm watching. So yeah, that was just, it is what it is. Then they showed what?
Oh, you're gonna leave the best one for last, right?
In PlayStation?
Yeah.
I don't know what the best one is.
Yes, you do.
Oh yeah, I do. It's on the back page. I didn't see it on there.
Okay, good.
All right, the next one they showed was a game called Horizon Zero Dawn, which just looks like a kind of an action-adventure game, but it's post-modern era. It shows modern cities, man-made cities on Earth that have been overgrown with plant life, and the only humans left are kind of these tribal people. And it's like people that lived out in native areas like Africa and stuff like that, and they came out after modern civilization died. They kind of came out and moved closer to the cities, but they're still that kind of the tribal style. But there's these dinosaurs running around, but the dinosaurs are made out of technology, old tech from the cities. So it was really weird. It was
sounds like everything that happened in Japan is killed all the humans, and then they were left to live, all the robots they make.
Yeah, the AIs or whatever kind of made their own bodies, and they're now wild animals, but they look like dinosaurs. So it looked really cool.
That sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have a PlayStation, so I won't be able to play it.
I do.
But yeah, I would go look at that. It looked pretty cool. Then they they kind of made a teaser trailer of a new Hitman game.
Yeah, it was just an announcement trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Hitman's kind of cool. I think I only played one on.
I think Hitman's also one of those games that's kind of dead. It was really awesome, but there's so many games that are so much like that game now.
Right.
That I think just leave leave it alone.
It's all those games like that, Hitman, Need for Speed, they have to do something really different in order to stay relevant. But if they do something really different, it won't be the same game.
Right.
It wouldn't be a Hitman game because that's just not what a Hitman game is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're kind of stuck. I mean, there's some games that have been able to do that. I mean, Halo is one. look at Halo 1 and Halo 5, like the differences there are and how it's evolved, but it's still kind of pretty true to what it is.
Right.
But like Hitman, Need for Speed, they just haven't changed that much over the years to where at this point, if they did something like that, it just wouldn't be the same game. So
No, definitely would not be the same game whatsoever.
yeah, we'll have to see more on that one. They talked about Street Fighter V, which is an exclusive on the PS4, PC, not coming to Xbox.
So it's not an exclusive, is what you meant to say.
It's exclusive to the PS4 and the PC.
You said it's an exclusive on the PS4 and the PC.
Whatever.
Doesn't make any sense. Did you watch the trailer, or you watched it?
Yeah,
right?
I watched it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like the animations and stuff. I'm not gonna play it because we've talked about it before. Street Fighter is one of those, those core, very difficult fighting style games. But the way everything looked, it was really, it was a pretty game.
I don't know.
So.
I don't like the style. I haven't really liked a Street Fighter game. Moving on from Street Fighter V, we saw No Man's Sky, which looked awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Did you watch it? Did you actually watch it?
I did, yeah.
So, if anybody listens to the podcast, they know I love space stuff. Like space games are the best. There's not enough good ones. This looks like a good one. They actually showed combat, which I was kind of worried that they wouldn't have because they just, kept building it as like it's about exploration and all that stuff, But the first thing they showed was like a space battle. And he's flying his little ship around, and he can there's two factions, and he can go in and help one faction or the other, or just leave. So he goes in and kind of helps shoot a couple of guys down. Then he takes off, and he showed he zoomed out of the map to show how big the universe was. And dude, he's like, see each one of these lights? That's a sun with its own system. And he's pulling back, super fast. It's thousands, hundreds of thousands maybe of suns that you see as he's zooming through.
I don't know if I would say that many. Let's be honest.
I don't know. It's a lot. It's ridiculous.
Hundreds of thousands, Christian? Really?
Dude, listen, they've said that it's ever expanding. So the further out people go, the more it's going to generate more systems. So it could possibly be an infinite number of systems. And you could go to one, if you are the first one at one, nobody else has been there before, you can name it whatever you want, and somebody else can come visit it. I don't know, it's really cool.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, a month or so ago on the podcast.
But so he picked one just totally random system. And he was playing this live, and he's like, I've never been here before, so everything's totally new. And he's warps into the system, and he's in space above the planet. There's some structure in orbit, but from orbit he goes down, no loading, no transition screen. He goes straight from space on down onto the planet and lands, jumps out of his ship, is walking around. But he scans the planet first, and it shows points of interest. There's a beacon where he goes to claim it. There's I guess materials or whatever maybe. But you can destroy, I guess, destroy plants or parts of the planets. He said everything's destructible. There's animals on all the planets. But each planet, he said, has these things called sentinels, which are planet guardians. And he was destroying a tree or rock or something, and they came up and started threatening him, so he took off. But yeah, it looks really cool. And he had guns out on the planet, so maybe there'll be some ground combat. But
I'm sure there will be some kind of.
It looks really cool, and I think this was a PlayStation timed exclusive, so it'll eventually come out on the Xbox One. He didn't give a release date. He just said, they're still working on it. They'll try to give a release date soon, but Looked really, really cool.
I'm infatuated by space, so I'm pretty excited
Infatuated?
for it. Yeah, I think space is really cool. I mean, space is just awesome in general, but
Yeah.
it's just something that you'll never. You mean honestly, you'll probably never get to see it in person. So it's just
Right.
cool to when that universe puts you there. So,
Right.
but
Then they showed Dreams. Did you see this one?
no, I did not.
So you can it showed this person paint a picture using the controller, like the motion on the controller. They painted a picture and then kind of programmed it to do stuff. And then they showed kind of a little montage of some different scenes. There's this kind of sci-fi thing with this guy being chased on a little speeder thing. They had some girl, kind of cartoony girl, killing zombies with a hammer, just kind of all kinds of crazy stuff. But you painted, it's called Dreams because literally whatever you think of, you can paint and then program to do something. Which is, I don't know,
Awesome.
Yeah, it looked really interesting. But
That's an awesome concept. It's just
it's a good concept, and I'm sure there's people out there that would do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, but I wouldn't be one. Kind of like Project Spark. I mean, I'll play what other people make, but I don't have the patience to learn how to make
or the time.
Yeah, or the time. Then we saw Firewatch, which is, I don't know if you've seen anything on this game. It's been kind of around here and there. I think it's supposed to be set in the 80s, and you're a park ranger, and you're a firewatch. You just kind of oversee this forest, and you have a tower with all your stuff in it and your radio, and there's some lady, some controller person that's talking to you on your radio, and just seems like a cool little game. There's obviously something weird going on in the story, but they don't really tell you
because they wouldn't make a game about a park ranger that
just sitting there watching out for fires.
Yeah, that just wouldn't happen. So,
but yeah,
I mean, it might. I mean, Farming Simulator 2 just came out, so
yeah. So it looks interesting. I think this is another timed exclusive too. But yeah, it looks like a neat little game. Then we saw Destiny, the expansion called The Taken King.
I mean, I cannot believe that thing is going to be freaking $80. That is just ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Are you serious? I didn't look at the price.
Yeah, $80, dude.
Dude, I thought it would be less than that. Well, it probably comes with the base Destiny and the 2 previous expansions.
Probably not.
I think so. I'm gonna have to look at that because I don't believe you.
No, I looked in the PlayStation Store. I swear I got an email about it.
Dude, it can't be $80.
I promise it says $80.
Okay. I'll have to go look at that. But anyways, my interest in Destiny has kind of come back a little bit since the last expansion because it was so much better than the first one. But I still haven't put a whole lot of time into it. But this one, the story is you're fighting Oryx, which is a big shoot. What are those guys called? The moon guys.
It starts with a V, right?
I don't think so. There's the Fallen. I totally drawn a blank on all the other.
Isn't it the Volt something, right?
I don't know. Maybe it's
like the Voltrix. Is that what it is?
No, I don't know what it is. I totally forgot. But whatever the guys are that live on the moon, the creepy guys, that's this one. Which was curious because the first expansion was based on those guys, and not the robot guys, whatever they're called. I kind of was figuring that I don't know why I can't remember these people's names. Whatever the robot guys are, I was figuring that this would be theirs since they had one for the moon guys and one for the Fallen. but who knows? But really, all they really showed on it was each class had a new subclass, which everybody figured was coming eventually because there's an open slot for them.
Right.
And they look kind of cool, like their powers look kind of interesting, but they just kind of showed them over and over using their supers. That was about it.
I mean, that's really the only difference. So
Yeah, so I don't know about that.
$80 for a new subclass. All right.
I think you're looking at it wrong.
Okay, Christian, you think I'm such an idiot? Look it up yourself. Right
I will
now,
look
then.
it up. I'm not gonna look it up right now, but I'll look it up later.
I hope you do.
I will. They showed off more Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Again, no gameplay, but they did show. They've said before that the story is based on two main characters, which are twins. But I don't think that they said before that one of them is a man and one of them is a woman. So we got another game this year with a female lead, which is cool.
Protagonist, yeah.
Yeah. And she looked really, like, they showed kind of her fighting. They didn't show gameplay, but it was like a little fight scene with her. And it was brutal. She was like stabbing people with a cane sword and like, I don't know, it was just like, it was awesome. But yeah, with no gameplay, it's kind of like, okay, we need to see a little bit more about this. Then they came out with some Final Fantasy stuff.
Which I'm excited about. Final Fantasy VII, that's awesome.
The first thing they talked about was Final Fantasy World, which it's like Final Fantasy, but it looks like all the characters are like little kids. I don't know. It looked really weird.
It would be awesome. I love Final Fantasy.
Well, it was like really kind of kid, like art style, and I don't know. It was odd looking. But yeah, then after that, they did announce a Final Fantasy VII remaster.
Which everyone's been waiting for like the last 15 years of their life.
Not me.
I have been. Not really. Not last 15, but...
I might play it because everybody says Final Fantasy VII is the best one.
It's the best one, yeah.
So, I don't know. If I play it and I still hate Final Fantasy, then I'll just give up.
Forever?
Yep, forever.
Fair enough.
And then both PlayStation and Microsoft showed like a little montages of these kind of arcadey like indie games, and just kind of like really quick flashes through them. So they didn't show much about them, so I'm gonna kind of skip over them. They talked about Shenmue 3, which is coming out, and I don't know anything about Shenmue 1 or Shenmue 2. Apparently those are popular too.
I've never heard of Shenmue 1 or Shenmue 2.
I've heard of them, but they're more of those, Japanese games. So
probably like the protagonist is probably like spiky hair, like black glasses, and then like the like your favorite kind of person. So
my favorite kind of person.
Yeah, like your favorite kind of video game character. You love that stuff.
No, I don't. I hate looking at that.
I know.
They showed a little trailer for a DLC for Batman Arkham Knight, which is based on the Scarecrow as the villain. But that was it. They kind of just announced that. I guess they didn't show any more stuff about Batman because it comes out this week. So that's that. I'm trying to read my notes. Oh, they talked a little bit about Project Morpheus, and they talked about how they wanted to integrate that with multiplayer stuff. So you could have like two people like sitting on a couch together, both in like the virtual world, which is kind of interesting because up to this point, all VR stuff has been like just single player. Except for like back in the day, I think we talked about this before on G4. Was that what it was? Where they had the arena, like that competitive gaming show.
Yeah.
And do you remember that? They had like one game that was a VR game where they had to stand up and they had a thing like over their head and they held like a gun in their hand. That was multiplayer, but that's like the only thing I've ever seen of VR for multiplayer. So it was interesting. They talked about PlayStation View, which we talked about on our PlayStation Pros and Cons series. They're adding a couple more channels, and they said it will be truly like a la carte. Like you can pay for, you don't pay for like chunks of channels. You pay for individual ones that you want. They rolled it out to a few more cities because I think we said that, or
It was
Kevin,
like Chicago or New York.
yeah,
or
Kevin
like,
said it was only like a handful. They said I didn't write it down, but I think it's like LA and San Francisco they're rolling it out to. But they said they're going to try like by this fall to have it out nationwide. So that's interesting if you're interested in that. Now here's
what about
something.
Honolulu? Help me out.
I don't know. I don't know. Does that count as nation? I guess it does. Or it might just be continental US.
It is continental U.S. Yeah.
Okay. Then something interesting happened. Usually, Call of Duty is like a Microsoft thing, you know, like an Xbox thing. They always show it at the Microsoft show. All the DLC comes out first on Xbox, but it's not going to be that way this year. They showed Black Ops 3 at the PlayStation show, and they said that all the DLC will come out first on PlayStation. So that's it's very curious.
Well, good riddance. Call of Duty's not that good anyway. So
Yeah, I don't care too much. I mean, we've got Halo. They've kind of, the next Titanfall will be multi-platform. They've kind of established that as like an Xbox deal. So I hope Call of Duty goes by the wayside soon because I'm just tired of it. Same thing over here.
I'm tired of the temptation to buy it.
I am too. I only bought it last time because you bought it though.
I know, but it worked out because then Sam liked it a lot, you know. So
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason why I still actually own it.
Yep.
Then they talked about Disney Infinity 3.0. That's cool if you like that, but I didn't pay much attention to it. They showed some more Star Wars Battlefront gameplay. They showed one of the co-op game modes, which is survival. It's pretty much just like a wave defense mode. Didn't look all that interesting, but they said there's going to be a couple more different co-op game types. So I'd be more interested in seeing some of those rather than just like a horde mode, because you know, like it seems like every game has some kind of horde mode.
Yes.
It's just old at this point. Then probably the biggest, the best demo that we saw at the PlayStation conference.
Without a doubt, there's hands down. I mean, blew every other game that Sony had out of the water.
Uncharted 4, and it was good they ended with this. It was funny though. I don't know if you watched. I don't know if this was in what you watched, but I was watching the conference, and after like the cutscenes and stuff, when it transferred to where they actually controlled the player, it was like broken or something. Like they couldn't move, and they had to reset the demo after a couple of seconds, and they had to like restart the whole thing. But
that didn't happen on the video.
It didn't.
I didn't get to watch the conference, so I mean, you know, I just watched the YouTube videos.
Right.
But...
Yeah, so that's kind of funny. But that's what happens
that is
when
funny.
you have live gameplay. But yeah, dude, that trailer was crazy.
Uncharted 4 is. Sorry.
Can you stop burping on the podcast? Jeez.
Like I said, I was talking to Allison about it, but she'd understand just because she doesn't understand. But like waiting from Halo 3 to Halo 4 is comparable for waiting for Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Because you beat it, and you're like, I know there's gonna be another one, and I freaking love this game, and I'm obsessed with it. And then you gotta wait like 6 years. And then finally, well, I think Uncharted 3 came out in what, like 11 or 12, right?
I don't know. It was a long time ago when I played them all.
I know it was 11 or 12, I believe, because I think it was right before I graduated.
It was
high
before. I think I bought them all maybe about 3 years ago. and
I'm just
and
gonna
that was like well after they'd come out. So
look it up. But yeah, they the whole trailer was just so. It
it's like
was almost like,
nonstop action.
well, not that, but it was almost like you didn't really have. It's not like a linear game. Like it never has been, but this just really exemplified that fact.
Right. It wasn't telling you exactly where to go.
Like it wasn't telling you where to go at all.
No, you're just like
So there's
Sully was just like, just keep going down, and that's all you do. You're driving did you ever drive in the other games? I don't remember that.
No, you were usually the passenger.
Right, that's what I thought. But you're actually
and
driving.
it came out in November 1st of 2011. By the
All
way.
right. So this one you're actually driving, and you're like driving through a city, trying to get to,
This tower.
yeah, this tower that blew up, and you're just like driving through streets, through alleys, because you're getting chased by some like military truck with a machine gun on it.
It's so funny. Like it's still comedic. Like the way
Right.
they just the way they talk to each other. Because like the one part when they were gone for a few seconds, and then they were
They
like,
thought
"Oh
they
yeah,
lost
we definitely lost it now."
And then as soon as they say that, it like busts around the corner.
Yeah, it just makes you laugh. I mean, because obviously it's gonna happen, but it's still really funny. So.
And then I think you mentioned the other day, like at the very end, it showed like perfectly like what Nathan's like what goes through his mind. Like he doesn't care what's going on. He just like goes for whatever he's trying to do.
He doesn't. It's not even a process. Like because at the end of the trailer, you're driving, and they're trying to get to
There's
Sam.
like a highway. There's like a highway.
They're trying to get a guy named Sam. They're trying to get to Sam.
Right.
And so there's like a car. It's almost like a convoy of cars that are carrying this guy, and they're on the highway, and then they're on the lower part, kind of in the sewers, almost.
Yeah, they're like down in the dirt underneath the highway. It's like a dried out river or something.
It's like an overflow, like a drain, kind of.
Right.
And they're like they're not. There's no way they can make it up to them. And there's like one of the trucks with a crane on it. And Nathan's just like, Sully, take the wheel. Like, it's just not, like, you don't know what's going to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen.
I mean, Sully knew what he was going to do because he's like trying to get him to stop.
Yeah. But he was like, Sully, take the wheel. And then Nathan stands up on the truck or on the Jeep and then throws his freaking grappling hook onto the crane. And then Sully stops, and obviously Nathan gets like ripped off the Jeep, and he's like floating along with it. And he's just like, he's hitting the beams of the bridge.
Yeah.
Like he like dusts them. Yeah, and then it ends with him like right as he's like getting impact on the wall. It ends, and it says Uncharted 4. And it's just like it makes. I mean, it's reassuring to me, and it sucks. Like by all means, I think that Nathan is gonna die.
Oh, for sure, he's gonna die.
Or, so did you watch the other trailer for Uncharted 4? The TV spot?
No, I didn't watch that.
Okay, so in the trailer spot, there's a part where there's a guy with him, and he's like, "Come on, little brother." He's talking to Nathan.
Oh yeah, his brother. Yeah, his brother's in the game.
So it's almost like, do you think that maybe Nathan wanted to become a treasure hunter because his older brother was, and maybe his older brother is going to be the one that dies in this game? Because, I mean, they might make 6 games out of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is interesting. We've never seen
I've never seen his
before,
older
right?
brother in any of them, so.
Because
And if
he's
you
just
have,
he's
then I
kind
don't
of
know
like
what you're talking about. So.
he's kind of like an orphan, right? Like he doesn't know who his family is.
Yeah, he doesn't really know anything about like his past, right? I mean,
he
was
was
told that his like ancestors was I forget, Francis Drake, which is a treasure hunter. So
well, in the third one though, you find out that might not be the case. Remember?
No, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what he was told,
right?
But yeah, in the third one, he's like, all these things are said to him, like kind of totally throwing a loophole in his whole life, like what he thinks of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. He's got a brother in this one, so it'd be interesting to see how they introduce that. But yeah, it's a good point. Maybe his brother will die.
yeah, instead of him, dude, I swear, I hate that. That's like honestly, that's the equivalent of Master Chief dying. Is if Nathan Drake died.
Yeah, it is.
And not, and it's different. Like I'm gonna get like a little nerdy with you here, but the connection I have with Chief is a little different than the one I have with Drake, just because it's a totally different world, like environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I see Chief as like this awesome, like this figure in my mind, just this unstoppable force. But then I see Nathan Drake as like this human, like kind of like me,
Right.
kind of thing, like and it's just different. I mean, I'm gonna be more sad, obviously, when Chief dies in Halo 6 because I know it's gonna happen. But
yeah, you're
I don't
right.
know.
That is really nerdy.
So, whatever, dude.
You
I'm
done
gonna
talking-
cry. I'm probably gonna cry whenever, man. I don't know. Shoot. Son.
That's fine. Are you done talking about Uncharted? So we can talk about.
I don't know.
the
I feel
Microsoft
like I kind of had
conference.
like a nerd attack there. I got really excited, didn't I? I'm really excited for Uncharted 4. Like really, really excited.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you're probably more excited for. The first thing they showed at the Microsoft conference, Halo 5.
Okay, so let me tell you something. If you are sitting here, unfortunately, Christian, you got to hear my verbal thoughts on this, but if you didn't get to watch the conference, make sure you watch a YouTube video that has the intro into the Microsoft conference because it is so cool. Because it's like kind of like a little introduction, whatever that word you want to call it, kind of thing is for their conference.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a quote, and it's all these different Microsoft exclusive characters.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like how it started out with like Spartan Locke, then it was Lara Croft, and then one of the guys from Fable Legends, and then Marcus Phoenix, and then Master Chief.
And then Chief was the last one to say something, of course. I mean, come on. And it was awesome. He's just like, I said it to you, and you said you're going to leap your foot into my butt. That was very nice. But.
Well,
yeah.
Tell the listeners what they said, so they'll know.
Okay, well, you said to me, Master Chief's Spartan number. And then I said, what is it? So ask yourself, will you step or will you leap? And then you said, I'm gonna leap my foot into your butt. And that's what Master Chief said at the end of the video, and it's freaking awesome when he says that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, will you step or will you leap? Not the foot in butt thing.
Yeah, the will you step or will you leap thing. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna go watch that video like after the podcast because it's so awesome.
Yeah, they showed a campaign level. And
well, first let's talk about what they showed first.
You talking about when they're like gearing up, getting ready to go?
Like the conversation.
Yeah. So we talked
as
before,
we all talked about. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's like it's a big deal that Buck from ODST is in the game, and he's a Spartan now.
Because here's the thing, like this is how I look at it. Locke, I don't know where Locke's been this whole time. But Buck has been in the war from the beginning.
Yeah, we don't know where Locke and his team are from, but we know where Buck's from.
Like we know, like Buck knows what Chief has done. Buck knows that Chief saved everyone. So, and Locke is kind of just this newbie, like Oni agent most likely, I think, right? That turns Spartan. And I mean, you can talk about Buck since he's like your favorite character, but
yeah. So Buck, I don't know how he ends up on Locke's team, but Buck says to Locke, he's like, people are gonna hate us when they find out what we're doing, right? Like when other soldiers and like people, like civilians, find out that they're hunting down Chief, like they're gonna be mad because everybody knows, what Chief's done. but Oni like doesn't care. They're just like the chief is AWOL, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
So they're going to hunt him down, and the arbiter tells them where Chief probably is. So they head over there, and it's like,
and it's cool because in the trailer, it's cool. You know, I think Arbiter's finally getting that role that he had been denied of for so long. I mean, he's
like the leader of this like Covenant revolution,
like like rebellion, revolution, like both kind of thing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but yeah.
So the campaign level they showed was Locke and his team running through this Covenant outpost trying to find Chief while Arbiter's forces are fighting against the other Covenant forces.
And the Forerunners are in the mix as well, the Didact and stuff.
But they showed off a lot of cool stuff. We can't spend a whole lot of time on it, but it was really neat. It looked really, really nice. They showed off some of the orders, like you give an order to somebody to revive somebody, and he like ordered Buck to fire on this Forerunner ship, which we talked about. So that's kind of cool.
I want to talk about just because I'm a single player aspect kind of guy, you know. It was interesting in the trailer. This Forerunner being similar to the Didact grabs Locke, and he says, what's he say? He says
like Master Chief was.
He says called. Master Chief was called, and then he says you were denied. Something I think he says denied,
something
right?
like that.
And then because he what's going on really?
Right. Yeah, the Chief. That was one thing that we noticed is the Chief is nowhere to be found, like in any of the Halo 5 stuff that they showed at E3. So it's like I think they're kind of keeping that a mystery till the game comes out. Yep.
I hope they don't do that, dude. I want to see some kind of Chief action, bro, because that live action trailer was just not enough, and it made me want more. So
I don't know. I think that that's the thing is like that's why it's all a mystery because nobody knows where the Chief is or what he's doing.
I think we all know what he's doing.
I mean, I can have a pretty good guess, but
he's trying to find the librarian.
I think he's trying to find Halsey.
He's trying to find the librarian because he knows the librarian. He knows that he can't go back to Oni and Earth and stuff for her to help him because they'll arrest him. But he knows that if he finds a librarian, that she can probably repair Cortana. So,
interesting theory. We saw some more multiplayer stuff. We saw the Warzone, which I couldn't tell whether that was just a game mode or whether that was like the whole multiplayer, besides the arena, which we had the beta for. But I'm pretty sure it was just a game mode. But it looks like
it's definitely not going to be the only multiplayer. I don't think. I have no thought that that's the case.
Well, it's it's like a huge 24-player map, like 12v12, and so 12 Spartans on each team. And then in addition to that, there's AI, like Covenant AI characters in the match, fighting against each other. And it looks like the kind of like the Titanfall multiplayer, where you've got just kind of the regular soldiers running around fighting, and then you have.
But not to that extent. Like those soldiers are idiots. I mean, the Covenant and the Forerunners, I feel like will be a difficult
right. And I don't
adversary.
know. Like I don't know if you have some of them fighting on your side or if they're just there fighting everybody while you're fighting the other team. Like you got 3 teams, like Red Spartans versus Blue Spartans versus Covenant or what. So, but it looks crazy. I mean, no matter what, it's absolutely insane.
Like pure chaos is what it looks like. I mean, it's just like nonstop.
I mean, they showed like kind of this pulled back camera angle where they're like somebody's driving a Warthog and people are jumping around. There's like explosions going on and ships flying through. It's just it's awesome. Ridiculous. So moving on from Halo, they showed.
Yeah, you have to stop me because I could talk about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it all day.
Yeah.
They showed Recore, which looks
that looks pretty interesting. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on it too much.
Yeah, but. I don't know what kind of game it is. It's like a looks kind of like a post-apocalyptic game with a lot of like robots in it.
They showed no gameplay, by the way.
Right,
They just
it's just
showed
a trailer.
CGI.
And it looked like the robots have this little like brain core that you can take out and put in another robot. And it was interesting, but yeah, no gameplay, so we don't know nothing about the game, so we'll have to see more about that.
Right, which, I mean, by the CGI, it was like anything that this girl put this core into, it was the same core, like the same soul. Like, it was still your best friend,
Yeah,
but you could put it into like a dog robot, and then you could put it into like a
it's
a
big,
giant
like,
robot.
yeah, like massive robot. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it was interesting. Then after that, they talked about some hardware and software. And we had the one announcement that I think blew everything else.
Everybody's pants off.
Away, is they have figured out a way to make the Xbox One backwards compatible.
They pretty much made the Xbox One into a 360 emulator, is what happened.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it started like now. Like me and you were in the preview program.
So we already downloaded Battle Block, and I downloaded Zuma as well. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Digital titles that you had, as long as there's like only a handful that are in their program now, but they said they're gonna have like at least 100 in there.
It releases
in
the fall. So
yeah, it officially releases in the fall. But if you're in the preview program, you have this, and your digital games probably have already downloaded automatically.
Unless you're like me and you don't have that set up, you just have it to where you download them yourself. So.
Right. But yeah, I mean, at the conference they showed Mass Effect, like the first one, played on an Xbox One.
And then on a video with Larry Herb, they showed a guy playing the original Borderlands. So
what was cool is, you remember on the 360 they had backwards compatibility for the first Xbox games, but you couldn't use the guide, you couldn't use anything like that. You just, like, it disabled all the other system functions when you were playing that game.
Yep.
That's not the case with these. Like, while they were playing Mass Effect, he zoomed out to the home screen. He was taking screenshots. He was in a party.
It's almost like an Xbox One arcade game is now what it amounts to.
Pretty much.
So
they said that the multiplayer will work. Like 360 players will be able to play with Xbox One players.
Can you imagine them putting Black Ops 2? Oh my lord, dude!
Black Ops, I would play that like in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, there's so many Black Ops 2 players, 360.
Yeah,
players,
people are still playing that game like crazy, because I mean that's the best one.
Yeah,
but yeah, it runs natively on the Xbox OS. There's no, like I said, it doesn't like disable functions. It's not a subscription deal. Like it's just yours, unlike PlayStation's PS Now, which PlayStation has stated like they have no plans to change anything about that. So it's a kind of in my opinion, it's a huge loss for them. This, like, I've seen a lot of people that were kind of undecided on PS4 and Xbox One, like, for sure decide that they're going to get an Xbox One just because of this feature.
Yep.
So that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I mean, I feel like I'll be looking through the catalog when it's out, and then I'll see a game that I used to love, and I'll be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. No. Now, a question that came up for me was like all the HD remakes. Why? Like, who's gonna buy those now? I mean, they might look slightly better, but if you can get, like, say Borderlands, for example, if you can get Borderlands the pre-sequel for $15 on the 360 and play it on your Xbox One, why would you pay $60 for that plus Borderlands 2? So that's something that's kind of gonna have to work out. It'd be curious to see, like, Dishonored, for example. Like, okay, you can buy the HD version that would probably look a little bit better, or you can spend, who knows, like, get Dishonored 360 out of the dollar bin and play it. So I don't
Right.
know. The only thing I guess would be like all the DLC usually comes with the upgraded versions, but I don't know how important that is to some people. We saw a new controller, which looked really cool.
Yeah, the Elite controller.
The Elite controller.
Yep.
I heard somebody say this is like $150 for this controller, but I have not looked at that, so I don't know about that. But this is built.
I haven't either. So
this is built, I think, kind of with the PC in mind, because with all the Windows 10 integration, they said they needed a good controller that would work on both, which the Xbox One controller works on the PC just fine. But this one, there's like 4 additional buttons in the back, so you don't have to take your thumbs off the sticks to push stuff. What else did it have? It's got like interchangeable parts like the D-pad, the thumbsticks, the back buttons. You can program the buttons. It just looks really, really cool. Just a huge improvement on the already great Xbox One controller.
yeah, I mean, I'm probably not gonna get it, but it's really cool. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure.
Like, I mean, it's just kind of like, you've been using something for so long, and then you kind of throw something up there, and it just totally, it kind of throws like a pipe in your corks.
What?
Like throwing a pipe in your cork.
No,
like
I don't know what that means.
I mean in your cog. Sorry, I said cork. I meant to say cog.
Pipe in your cork.
Yep, pipe in my cork. Gotta throw a pipe in my cork.
All right. They did another Fallout 4 demo, which was.
I was gonna say, speaking of cog, and I was gonna talk about how stupid the Gears of War 4 trailer.
We're not
looked,
there
but,
yet.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
But that was a good transition, though.
Thank you.
But they showed some more Fallout 4 stuff, which is pretty much a condensed version of what they showed at the Bethesda conference. But one thing they did say was they talked about mods. I mean, the PC is huge on mods, like especially the Bethesda games always have like crazy mods. But they said that through the
especially like that Skyrim mod where you can kill the children in the city. Oh,
that was probably the best one.
That was definitely the best one, dude. Seriously.
But coming along with all the Windows 10 integration, they said that mods created on the PC for Fallout 4 can be shared and played on the Xbox One. And
what?
That is awesome.
Isn't that crazy, dude? That is just crazy to me.
That's something that people have wanted for a long time. I mean, that's the biggest difference in
That's
PC
what people were like.
and...
Yeah, dude, people were like, why would I play Xbox when I could mod on my PC on Skyrim? Like, I don't really know, dude. Sorry.
No, I mean, that is a huge thing. Like, why the PC players, say they have the master race because they have all the mods and whatever. So this is a really cool step forward.
Well, now they can't say that.
At least not on this game. I mean, we don't.
PC stands for a piece of crap. That's how I feel about that.
I don't think I've heard that before. Then EA came out and kind of did a little condensed version. They talked about Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2 a little bit more. But they talked about the EA Access. And I've said before, if you have an Xbox One, you need to have EA Access. Like, hands down, it's an awesome service. But now Titanfall is in the free game vault. And then later on this year, Dragon Age Inquisition will be in there. And Titanfall is awesome. I mean, that's like, I still have my copy, like my disc copy.
I have my digital copy because it has all the DLC, but...
Right. So if you don't have that game, you have EA Access, please get that. It's like $30 a year, and you get tons of free games. You get to play new games early. You get discounts. It's really good.
Yep.
And the vault was open to all Xbox Live Gold members the week of E3, so that will be over by the time this episode comes out, but hopefully some people took advantage of that. They talked about Forza Motorsport 6, which I talked about, not too excited for.
I mean, it looks honestly, I don't know, man. You can only do so much and make that game look so nice until it's the same thing. So I mean, it's just a nicer looking game essentially.
pretty much.
So I mean that demo they showed was a beautiful car, dude.
Oh,
That
for
was
sure. The Ford GT.
Yeah.
Or GTR or whatever it was.
The GT.
They announced officially Dark Souls 3. That's the first I've heard of it.
Yep.
I've shared my opinion on those types of games.
Yep.
So if you like that, then good for you. They talked a little bit more about The Division. There will be a Xbox One exclusive beta in December. So looking forward to get my hands on that.
Yeah, definitely.
They talked about this game called Gigantic, which a lot of people know about on the PC, but which that's kind of where I've heard of it, but I haven't heard of it. I haven't really looked into it. It looks kind of like an indie arcade game. It's a free to play. It looks just almost like a co-op versus AI type thing, but couldn't really tell a whole lot. They didn't talk about it much from the trailer. Then, like I said, with the PlayStation stuff, they showed a lot of indie game stuff, like real quick, just kind of montage things. But this one, after they showed those little montages, they actually talked about a few of them a little bit more in depth. They talked about Tacoma, which I cannot remember what that one was.
Oh yeah, I saw the little screenshot for that, but I didn't watch the video on it. So
Wow, I cannot remember what that one was about. I guess it wasn't that important.
wow.
They talked about Ashen, which again, I don't remember what the deal was with that one. Just didn't stand out enough, I guess. Then they talked about Beyond Eyes, which is a game where he plays a blind girl. And I think PlayStation had a game. They didn't show it at E3, but it's a game where he plays a blind person, but it was more like a horror game. This one seems just kind of like a fun little, I don't know, like a neat, kind of more artistic, relaxed experience. Looked pretty interesting. They had Cuphead, which I don't know if I would buy it, but it looks really cool. It's all hand drawn, like 1930s cartoon style. Looks really funny.
It's like almost like a would you say? Did you say funny? That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like it's like watching an old cartoon, like literally watching an old cartoon. It's really cool. Then they also said this was interesting. Xbox One is going to be getting something like the Steam Early Access. And it's called Xbox Game Preview. And it's pretty much the same thing as the Steam Early Access. Like you can buy a game before it's released to kind of test it out if you want to help, like get on forums with the devs and kind of help them with bugs or whatever. But what's interesting is this one is all these games are supposed to have a trial that you can play before you buy it. So if it's like in a totally broken state, you don't feel like you wasted your money.
Right.
There's going to be a couple of games called The Long Dark is one, which I've heard of. I don't know much about. Sheltered, which I don't know much about. Elite Dangerous, which looks like a really cool kind of like space sim. Another space game. Looks really interesting. And then DayZ, which we like on the PC. We haven't played it much, but I love it.
If it's on the console, forget about it. Like, I'll play it. I mean, PC is just...
And then the problem is you don't have a mouse. Like, you can't play that game without a mouse.
Well, I play it pretty well. So,
I guess, you talking about? And then Ion, which is a game from the DayZ creator, Dean Hall. I think he's left DayZ and he's now making this game, which is kind of like they didn't show really much of, but it is what it is. They talk about Rise of the Tomb Raider, moving on from the indie stuff.
I heard that trailer for that looked really awesome.
Dude, it's like everything bad that could happen was happening in that trailer.
Yeah, I know.
They're like falling off the rocks and there's avalanches coming down and just all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
But it looked cool. It was a different environment. They were in the snow rather than like in the jungle, and it looked like, I mean, per the title, Rise of the Tomb Raider, it looked like Laura was really, like coming into like her element as a
Right.
Tomb Raider. So it looked pretty cool. Then Rare developer came on the stage, announced that they're
Which,
gonna
if
sell
if you don't know who Rare is, they're Perfect Dark. So
dude, so many like older,
old,
more,
old
not like
console
really
shooters.
old, but yeah, console, like old school console stuff.
Yep.
But they're gonna release 30 of their games on disc for $30, and like Project Dark was on there, Conquer was on there, which I never played. A couple of things I recognized that I didn't play because I was really young, and I just didn't play that many games. But that looked pretty cool. It's a good deal. They talked about Sea of Thieves, which looks like a.
But you were excited for this, but I don't really.
I like pirate stuff. This was a little kind of cartoony art style, but not so much to where it was annoying to me. But it was like open world, almost looked like an MMO type deal. In the trailer, there was like a group of people like on this beach. They all ran and jumped in their pirate ship, and they were sailing through. And then like another pirate ship with other real life players came by, and they like got into a fight. It looked interesting. They talked about Fable Legends, which we've shared our opinion of. Then they got into like some more software stuff with Windows 10. Microsoft has a partnership with Oculus. We heard about that a couple weeks ago, which I think is smart for them because they're trying to do the HoloLens thing, but they still need to kind of keep up with the VR stuff like PlayStation doing. So it's cool that they've teamed up with Oculus because that's a big PC deal. And when the Oculus actually releases like for retail, it'll be bundled with an Xbox One controller. And they said that Xbox games will be like able to be played on the Oculus via Windows 10.
Oculus.
I'm talking a lot, dude. I'm thirsty.
You're always thirsty, dude.
I'm thirsty. They talked about HoloLens. And did you watch that? The Minecraft demo?
I did, yeah. That was really
Dude.
sweet. I don't know if my dad saw that, but
That was
I'm going to have to let him
crazy.
watch. I forgot to tell him about that. Thanks for reminding me.
That was so crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't watch, like, it was a couple months ago. I think in January they said they showed some demo like that, and I didn't watch that. So this, like, totally blew my mind. I mean, this guy, he had, like, a table. I mean, first he was, like, he was projecting it onto the wall through the HoloLens and playing it there. Then he got up and he projected the world onto the table, and he's, like, looking at it. I mean, like if you built a world out of Legos on this table, that's what it looked like. But he was scrolling it around and like zooming in, like inside buildings and stuff. While he was doing all this, he was playing with a lady right next to him who was playing on a tablet. And he could see where her character was in the map. And he could like look underneath the world to see like where minerals and stuff were and tell her, hey, if you go over here, and you could like mark the spot, say, hey, if you go here, there's some stuff down there. I don't know. It was really, really cool.
It was mind blowing.
I mean, it was insane, like the technology behind it. I'm curious as to how much that HoloLens will be when it comes out.
Yes.
Probably stupid expensive. But yeah, that was really cool. Like that was just crazy. The last thing we saw, and the last thing we'll talk about, is another big Xbox franchise, Gears of War. First, they announced the Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
Boo!
Which is Gears of War 1, the first game.
That might be out on backwards compatibility. Boo!
It will, but the Ultimate Edition, it's like all redone graphics. But the multiplayer was the big thing. Well, I think they said there's more
and it
story
was the
stuff.
same thing,
It's like
so-
4 hours of story stuff. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, the multiplayer, there's like more game modes and all kinds of stuff, and they tweak things. But they announced that there is a beta for the multiplayer out now, which Taylor and I both played, and it only took me one match to remember how much I absolutely hated playing Gears of War 1 multiplayer, or any Gears of War multiplayer. I hate it. It's so bad. It's so cheap, like the things that people do on there. And it's just it's not accessible to somebody who doesn't play it like nonstop. If you just like kind of jump in and want to play some and have some fun, you won't have fun. Like
At all.
People will destroy you if they know what they're doing.
Yep.
It's very frustrating. So I had to turn it off before I got really mad and broke something.
Yep. So yeah, we played that, and it was just not. I mean, it had its time. I mean, Gears 1 was as that game came out almost 10 years ago, or actually 10 years ago this next year. So, I'm kind of done with that. And I mean, plus if they put it on freaking backwards compatibility, then what's the freaking
Right.
What's the big deal about it? Great, that's really cool, dude. Wow.
It's just better graphics, dude. Those graphics, though.
Yeah, dude, totally.
Graphics, 1080p, man, 60 frames a second.
Great.
But
game.
What?
If a piece of poop was 1080p 60 frames a second, I probably still wouldn't look at it. So I don't understand the whole. So.
Oh man, you're on a roll today.
What?
But after they announced that, which we pretty much knew was coming. I mean, they said that a couple weeks ago. Everybody, of course, is disappointed it's not all three, like Gears 1 through 3. I don't know why they didn't do that, but
I was kind of mad about that. I would
knows?
like to play all three of them together, but just one is just not that great of a deal. You know what I mean?
yeah. But then they showed Gears 4, which honestly, besides like the mechanics, didn't look like a Gears of War game at all. Like I didn't recognize the characters. They were new characters.
I thought it looked. What do you mean it didn't look like Gears of War game at all? It was Gears of War 3 with different characters. I didn't think it had any improvement.
There's no locusts. They're like creeping through this castle.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You saw 3 monsters in the whole thing.
Listen. I said the trailer didn't look like a Gears of War game. It looked like some kind of monster hunting game.
Okay, dude.
That's just my opinion. Okay.
Whatever, bro.
But yeah, it was not very impressive. It looked like, it looked like combat from every other Gears of War game.
It looked like Gears of War, like you just said.
No, that's what I said. The mechanics looked like a Gears of War game, but like the setting didn't.
It just looked like a game that I'm probably not gonna buy because I don't really care about it. So.
Yeah, it's Gears of War. I guess that's a popular franchise, but it just.
I love Gears, but man, I don't.
Halo.
It's one of those games where the gap has been too far. And it's not like Halo where I have been waiting for it. Gears of War 3 is over, and you know what? I moved on. I'm done with it. So that's just how I feel about Gears of War. But.
There wasn't. That's another series. Like from Gears 1 to Gears 3. There wasn't really much that changed. There wasn't enough that changed to keep it, like up to the times. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just it was always the same thing. Just it looked a little bit better.
All on 360. It's just story advancement basically is what it was. I mean, and then some minor modification in the multiplayer here and there, but
right.
Maybe not minor, pretty major ones between two of them. But
so yep, that was it for the Microsoft conference. And that was all I watched. Wow, that was a lot to go through. I might split this episode up into 2 and like release it one on Monday and one later on the week.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that. But I'm going to keep our contest going for Smite through this week as well.
Oh, also, sorry, on that note with Gears of War, I have uh, I have 3 beta keys.
I think the
Anyone
beta's
wants one?
over at this point.
Well, I just got the beta. I got the keys last night, so I don't
Well,
think
it
it's
only
over.
lasted a week.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's over.
Well, hey, if you heard me say that, then sucks to suck. I'm not gonna give you one.
It's not worth it. Trust me,
It's really
not worth it.
It's not. It's not.
So yeah, we have 3 Smite closed beta codes to give away for the Xbox One. Let us know what you were most excited for from E3, and you could have a chance to get one of those codes. We will read your submission on the podcast and discuss it. You can hit us on Twitter at the New Leaf Crew. You can hit us on Facebook at New Leaf Podcast. You can hit us via email at thenewleafcrew@gmail.com. I really want to give those codes away. Smite is a good game. You can go look on our YouTube channel, which is New Leaf, and see us actually playing some of it. If you're not a MOBA fan, I would still try it out because I don't like MOBAs and I like Smite a lot.
Yep, same here. I horribly despise those kind of games, and I still.
Yep, give Smite a chance. It's really, really well done for the console. It's worth checking out.
Without a doubt.
So do that, and hopefully you can get a code and play with us. Although I don't know if you want to play with Taylor, because I think he's scared off that girl that I was playing with the other day.
Have you talked to her since?
No.
How did I scare her off?
Because you're like just in a really, like, I don't know. You're just in some kind of mood that day. You just wanted to be mean to everybody.
That's my favorite kind of mood to be in.
But yeah, I played with a young lady from the Reform Pub Video Gamers group.
Oh, I thought you just randomly met her in game.
No. Anyway, I don't play with random girls. What kind of person do you think I am? Wow. But no.
Hey, judge me. I don't care.
Okay. Everybody listening to this podcast is judging you.
I don't give a crap.
But yeah, don't get scared off by Taylor. He just.
He just.
I have to end this. I have to end this show. I can't do this anymore. It's over.
What are you gonna say? Don't get turned off on me by what?
No, this is over. It's done.
No, it's not.
It's over. I control when it's over.
What were you gonna say? You can't do what?
I don't remember what I was gonna say because the show's over.
Hi guys, this is Tanner.
And this is Tyler, and it's shocking, but yes, we are on a podcast again. It is crazy. We have been missing like none other, but it's been necessary.
Yeah.
School has been crazy. Our lives have been crazy busy, and very interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. We would like to try to get back with Christian and Taylor, but for right now, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, eventually that is the goal. So, I'm just going to be honest, I haven't caught all of the last couple podcasts that Christian and Taylor have done. Tanner may be up to speed, but one of the last podcasts I heard, they were talking about Batman Arkham Knight, which at the time of recording is coming out in less than an hour now. It will be available for sale.
And I got that pre-ordered.
Yeah, that's right. Tanner has it pre-ordered. We're going to go get that probably in the morning. And we'll see how that goes, Lord willing, because I have an exam to take and get that done, and then we can play some Arkham Knight.
Yes.
But, regardless, I was just going to give a quick defense of that game because I personally really like the game. I think it's a very good, the combat's very fun, the detective scenes are, the way you play as Batman, I think, is really well done, which would be contrary to the Taylor and Christian opinion of how Batman was treated.
Yes.
I think he was done very well.
it makes you want be Batman, go through what he's facing his foes, and have fun with it.
Yes, and I haven't played through Asylum all the way. I've played through City completely. Well, not all the bonus content and stuff like that, but I made it through the main storyline. And
Stupid Riddler trophies. That's
I mean,
all I gotta say.
Riddler trophies. There's so many of them, but we're not doing all of those. But so made it through City completely, and it was awesome. And the ending is just very memorable and actually really well done. When you go back after you know the end, you go back to boss fights from earlier, and you actually see things that really play well into the story, but you don't get it until after you beat the game. So it's kind of cool.
Then you have the DLC story that they released a little bit after that.
Right, but we don't know. We don't know. You may know. I don't know the DLC.
It just takes the cool ending and takes it down a little bit. That's pretty much what it does.
Well, anyway, so Christian and Taylor may not favor it, but we love the game and say go out and get it and
wait until the season pass gets a discount instead of paying $100 at full if you want the DLC.
Yeah, Taylor and I were discussing this. If we're paying for season passes for games at the time we're buying games, we're paying roughly $100 for a game. That is a lot of money for a video game.
I will pay that for a toy, but not for a video game.
Yes, I mean, now, granted, you could put the amount of hours into the video game, but to make it worth it. But I think Arkham Knight was the average time is like 12 hours for the game, so that's a pretty expensive game if you're just going to put 12 hours into it. Which I know we'll probably put lots more than 12 hours into it.
Yes,
but yeah, so that is that is the Arkham Knight that's coming out. It looks so good, and it's gonna be so awesome in my opinion.
We will see how Rocksteady ends their Batman story.
Yes, I love the end of the trailer because he just is like, "This is how the Batman died," and it's just it's great. That's the launch trailer. So
that was the end. I thought that was at the beginning. The end part was like, something a little bit different. It was like
it's the I promise I just watched it.
Okay.
So it's the launch trailer that I'm talking about.
Okay.
He says it at the end. Okay, so we're gonna get to our E3 topic. That was the whole point. Sorry about we had to get Batman out of the way, but we are.
It's because of Taylor and Christian's views on some good games. That's all.
That's all right. We just have opposing views. It's okay. We're allowed to have differing views.
Sorry.
But, okay, so we're going to hit kind of the highlights of E3 that we liked, that we enjoyed, and these will be maybe a little different. A lot of the big names are definitely there. Microsoft had a great press conference. I didn't watch the entire thing.
It was good. There was a little bit of business and a little I think it was a little bit business, but pretty much showed some indie games. There's one indie game I'm interested to see how that goes, of the concept of being a blind person. And it goes, well, but I forget the name of the game. So
well, okay, so we have that game that Terry doesn't know what it is, but that's okay.
Except for the concept.
Yeah, so if you know what it is, maybe you can tell us in the comments or something of either the YouTube video or email us. And so, basically, of course, we're going to hit it early. Final Fantasy VII being remade, and it's not a just a PlayStation remake. I think it's actually for Xbox as well.
Ooh, I didn't hear that part. I heard only for PlayStation.
Yeah, so it's a timed exclusive maybe, but I'm pretty sure it's coming out for both consoles, which will be very nice. Final Fantasy VII, I have it. It's one of those games that I played Legend of the Dragoon, which was kind of just another JRPG But
That was a good PlayStation.
Final Fantasy VII cost a whole lot more than that game, and plus Legend of Dragoon, it caught my eye. And so Final Fantasy VII, it was always like one of those games where I saw a picture of it, like seeing Cloud with the Buster Sword on the cover was interesting, but it never I didn't know anything about it really when I was growing up. So, so I have the game now on PC, and I haven't even played more than 15 minutes of it. So I can't give an accurate game of whether I love it or not. But I do know that this remake, I'm probably going to get it because I wanted a remake, and since it's becoming a reality, that is just so awesome.
And who does not like Cloud?
I know,
his cool Buster Sword.
I mean, I've always liked Cloud,
and he's always cool in a later game that we're gonna talk about.
Well,
later.
I mean, we can go ahead and hit it if you want. I mean, Kingdom Hearts has Cloud in it. The Disney and Final Fantasy mix between the Kingdom Hearts games is just amazing. And
I want to see Sora and his girlfriend get together instead of them teasing it at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah, so we have some interesting love dynamics that need to occur in Kingdom Hearts 3, but which is the newest one, Kingdom Hearts 3. It was another trailer. E3 last year as well had a Kingdom Hearts trailer. But now it's just all it was more like a teaser. It showed some gameplay, but also had
it showed what kind of new in Kingdom Hearts 2 you have this thing called drive forms. I think it's either that or something with you press triangle and you do some interaction thing. It showed you do like a boat attack or. It's pretty much using some Disney rides in the mix of a
yeah. I saw the teacups as well as just an attack where you get in a teacup and spin around all over the map and stuff. But so that was kind of cool. The Kingdom Hearts was definitely something that it's a great considering all the games that have been made out of it. It's a really good series, but the Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay that they showed, and they didn't even give a title, a release time.
No, please let us pre-order it.
Yeah, Tanner can't even pre-order it. Yeah, he's a little bummed. But yeah, since they basically all they did was just give us another product in development trailer, and I mean it could be because Star Wars is coming out and because that's a new Disney title. They also have Marvel in the Disney universe now. So it's very, okay, best case scenario, you have Star Wars, Marvel, and Final Fantasy in the same video game. Be ridiculous. Be super awesome. Yeah. But that is just, the fanboy coming out and me trying to... totally get that out of one game would be sweet.
And hopefully Pixar comes in the mix on some of the worlds. Because I want to see Sora go with Buzz and Woody and see what type of adventure they would go on in their planet.
Yeah, I forgot about Pixar. You get Pixar in there, you got tons and tons and tons of good content that's available. Okay. Yeah, so we... Yeah. From Final Fantasy VII to Kingdom Hearts 3, now we're gonna go to Gears of War Ultimate
Edition.
Yeah, I was a gearhead. I wouldn't like to say I'm a recovering gearhead. I love the game. I went back and as soon as I heard that a Gears of War Ultimate Edition, a remastered version of the original Gears 1, or actually it's just called Gears of War, but
it's pretty, Tyler has been backlight. I've been keeping up from the rumors and all of that through
Tanner's been following it from the get-go, and so it's really cool for him because it happened. All the rumors and everything actually came out as true, which is cool. I mean, I was a big Gears 1 junkie. Did not like it. I did not like Gears 2 and 3 as much as I did 1. I went and entered into the beta, downloaded the beta, and started playing Gears 1, the Ultimate, Gears of War Ultimate, and it is a remastered Gears 1. It feels like Gears 1. It feels like Gears 1. The only problem is the shotgun's a little off in the beta, and so that is a little bit annoying because the Gears shotgun is so, you have to be, they have to get that right. That is very important to the multiplayer component. The single player is probably going to be awesome. I saw all the that they actually redid all of the content, not only just like giving it a new skin, but they actually did the cinematics a little bit better to update them to make the story flow better and stuff like that. And also, go ahead, Tam.
I was gonna say they're also, for fans, they're gonna give us 5 new chapters in the storyline, which I like to see what's gonna go on with that. How's it gonna extend the good game of Gears of War 1?
Yes, I mean,
story-wise.
The story that there's at least some of the content from PC. I think it may include all the PC content and maybe some more additional, but I think just in general the PC release of Gears of War for Windows Live, it actually came with those 5 chapters that we are just now going to be able to get in this Ultimate Edition. And one includes them running from a Brumak, and so it'll be interesting. So that's something to look forward to. It's only going to be $40 instead of $60, which I'm pretty happy about.
Sweet.
So that's going to be nice. I mean, for me, Gears of War is the reason I bought an Xbox and Xbox 360 in the first place.
That's why I bought an Xbox One and plus new Transformers game.
Yeah.
Not so much Halo. Sorry, but we'll get into that topic a little bit later. Let's get back here with Gears.
Well, I mean, I was going to say it's a good way to move on. Like, Gears is the reason I got a 360, and that changed my life. I mean, the amount of time I spent on Xbox Live, everything. Oh, I didn't tell you, the reason that I don't like the Gears of War Ultimate Edition is because it brings me back so many memories and, like, the intensity of multiplayer and how like addicted I am to it, and I get like super competitive that it's just like part of me doesn't want all that energy in my life. Like it's like all of this, like I get stressed out, I'm super competitive, and it's just like, well, I don't know if I want to go back into that, but
well,
hey,
Tyler, it's part of being a gamer here.
I know it's hard, but yeah, so moving right along, Halo 5, I'm stoked for it. They're bringing back... Halo 5's bringing back the original, like, when you read the Fall of Reach book, it goes into the story of Blue Team, which is John, Spartan 117, Master Chief, his team, and so they're bringing Master Chief back to that team, and I'm so excited for that. The story, I don't know what exactly is going to happen, but it looks sweet. I'm really interested in it. And unfortunately, there's so much Halo content and so little time. They have the podcasts, they have the Nightfall series, they're going to have the animated series. There's a lot of books. There's so much that the Halo universe, I love it. I'm really looking forward to it. Halo 5 looks amazing.
Yes.
And I don't want to touch on it too much because I'm sure that Christian and Taylor have fanboyed over that.
Yes.
Like you would not believe. So we'll move
but
right along.
I have a little side comment. Since we're having blue versus red, or we have a little tease or Easter egg from Rooster Teeth's red versus blue series in the mix of Halo 5.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, the red in the Halo 5 storyline, it's actually the blue team versus Osiris.
Oh.
Which it's kind of weird, but Destiny and Halo have tons of similarities in the naming of their things, which drives me nuts in some ways because I want them to be original, but hey, I don't know who's copying who, so because Halo 5 Guardians, like the Destiny, I guess, ripped it off of Halo because Halo's had Guardians in it ever since the beginning, where if you like fell out of the map or something like that, it would say you were killed by the Guardians, or if you didn't get like you fell to your death, it would say you were killed by the Guardians. And so
besides Slayer or something.
yeah, like if you got like randomly blown up on the map and no one killed you and they don't know what happened, it was just like you got killed by the Guardians. So they've always been there in Halo universe. So just interesting. Watch out for that. That'll be awesome. Okay, moving right along. Ghost Recon Wildlands looks insane.
It has a good trailer.
Great trailer. Actual in-game footage was awesome. I even liked the little like music that it had to it. Was peppy, kind of had like, in my opinion, like a Black Hawk Down vibe. If you've ever seen that movie, they have like a certain type of music that they played in it, and so it kind of gives me that. But just the ability to go co-op with my friends and go snipe, and I'm able to be that support role that I love to be, will be absolutely outstanding. And like being able to customize your character and stuff like that, I just think it's going to be really, really fun. Since we're hitting customizing your character, The Division I wanted to hit real quick.
That is a good game.
Yes, it is. It's a good game, but I hated the trailer that they showed at E3, the multiplayer trailer, because it shows these guys and they're going through the whole...
To me, it's like, okay, let's take from last E3 that we teased and replay it into this E3. That's...
Right, well...
To me.
I mean, but here's the big difference. When they did the multiplayer trailer, they had the three people working together, and then all of a sudden at the very end, one guy goes rogue and kills everybody else and takes all their junk and leaves. And that drives me nuts. Because maybe people do that in real life, but that's just stupid. If you got friends with you, don't do that. You will keep your friendships. It's not worth having one gun. Maybe if it was Gajallarhorn, but that's it. It's not worth it, at least in my opinion. I hate it when that it makes you not trust anybody, and you got to have people you can trust when you're playing. If you're playing with people you don't trust, you need to pick other people, or else you're going to be an anxious mess the whole time while you're playing with people, and that's no fun. So that was the low light of Division. The highlight is I think it looks really sweet and it'll be really fun to play.
We'll see how it works with the smart glass feature.
Actually, they nixed that. They got rid of that.
Oh, really?
Yep. They totally, they said it gave, some sort of like unfair advantage, or it just didn't work out well in the game. So, so they got rid of it. Alright. Speed mode here, as I'm continuing to work through our list. We still have a little bit to go. Star Wars Battlefront looks great. That's right. I don't know how much to say about it, because Taylor and Christian probably have talked your ear off with it, but I know growing up that, I never played that game online. I always played it with bots because that's all I had and that's what we did. But it looks great, and I think that it's really exciting to see the Star Wars world opening up like it is, and
how
actually
DICE
having,
taken...
actually having like a AAA title and it being really, really cool, and you just the everything they're doing with it is seems like it's on the right track. It doesn't look like they're going to be doing the fans wrong in any way, shape, or form. So I'm excited. I haven't seen any sniper gameplay yet, and that's what I'm really looking for, of course, as a sniper.
Oh.
But everything I've seen looks good, so it's going to be Battlefront and awesomeness.
Yes.
Okay, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Ooh, that's a game Tyler likes.
Yes, I watched 15, maybe I think it was a 25-minute gameplay video of Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, and it has all the things from Human Revolution that I enjoyed, stealth gameplay, all kinds of different paths you can take. You can talk to people, and like the the way you talk to people, what you choose actually affects the outcome of the story. Like maybe someone dies and then because you spoke one way, but if you would have spoke the other way, they wouldn't have died or something, just little things like that actually do change the story. Really cool. And I, am really excited for that. The graphics are on it. The graphics that are on it are great. And, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And one of the cool things about that world is that it's supposed to look futuristic, but not too futuristic. It's supposed to be believable, almost like a Blade Runner, in my opinion. It's got that augmented people. They're still normal people. They just have a robotic arm. Like it's not like they're,
it's not like RoboCop or like Cyborg from DC Titans.
Well, it's got that in it, but it's just they don't do it so over the top that it's not believable. Like it fits in the world. So like you've got a general who's a augmented person, which means they have the armor and stuff. Like the mechanical body parts. They're gonna look like a big, powerful character, and so it fits. And like Jensen is more, he's real thin, laid back, like he's really strong, but he's fast, and so it just like there's different ways you can play the game, and I think it really is going to stack up to be cool. If it has multiplayer, which I doubt it does, but I think that would be a great world to have multiplayer in, and be able to customize your own character and put your own augments and stuff like that, and then have like some type of I don't know, like I think they could go a lot of different ways with multiplayer in that game, but single player is probably their main focus. So oh well, sad face. If you see the game, watch the trailer and stuff for it. I think it looks great. I think you'll think it looks great, hopefully. It was really fun to play.
Yes.
Okay, so
game.
Next is The Last Guardian. I'm going to touch on this because I personally, I have these times where I am talking to myself, like processing the game that I'm watching. Like what I'm seeing, what are the questions, like if I'm watching a movie, same thing. Like what's the plot? What's this have to do with the plot? That kind of stuff. Well, the Last Guardian, the only thing that concerns me is that it looks like there are a lot of things that it does in the story that, okay, I'm basing this off of like the 5-minute trailer that I've seen, but basically this kid, instead of getting on the dog, whatever flying dog you want to call it, has like bird legs, instead of just having him get on the dog and then jump over this ledge, no, instead you have to like micromanage this dog, and so you like whistle for it, tell it to stay, and then you have him like jump across. Yeah, that's the thing. He had the dog jump across this like huge gap that he wasn't going to be able to get across, so that he can drop down like a bridge or a ramp in order for him to get across. It makes no sense, because all you have to do is hop on the dog, you jump across, and that's it. And so I think that I really hope this game is good. I loved Shadow of the Colossus, one of my favorite PlayStation 2 games I've ever played. It's really just in my top games, just because I love games that immerse you in the world. And Dark Souls immerses you in the world in a totally different way. It's like, here I drop you in, you learn for yourself. But Shadow of the Colossus, it kind of was just like, hey, you have a horse, you have a sword, you have a bow, and you need to just travel. Like, if I didn't have a strategy guide with that game, I would have had no idea what to do, because you just basically hold up a sword, it shows the light of which direction you're supposed to go, and you just run that direction. No matter what you face, it's there. Like, you have to go do it. And that's it.
So it's more like Skyrim without that like story part, that tutorial they do in the beginning.
Well, here's the thing. I like it better than Skyrim because it actually has one objective. It doesn't, like, you can go off to the side and, like, you find these temples and stuff to give you more stamina and stuff like that. But overall, when you, like, hold up your sword or whatever, the game points you in the right direction. And it's not like you go work on your crafting for 50 minutes or something like that and just to build up your armor strength. No, it just has this one common objective. And this, I will go ahead and say this right now since we're talking about it. The reason I don't like Fallout and the Fallout 4 looks like, I love the world that they build, but I don't like Fallout. And the reason being is because it has so much stuff you can do that it overwhelms me, and I feel like the content that I would need to go play, like all the stuff that I need to go do to like beat the game like 100%, is too much time invested in a game that I feel like could be invested elsewhere. Like I could play through Halo and get the entire story and be like, wow, that was a great story, and have it. Or let's just use Batman because we know it's roughly 12 hours. I'm gonna know that
you can go through the main story. You can do the side missions either in between or after or right when you were starting. It determines. It's your choice. Like Fallout, you can do other stuff, but it determines what do you like. Do you like a apocalyptic world, or you like a cool superhero from fiction?
Well, yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is Fallout gives you infinite numbers of things to do. I don't like that because that's too many options. I need fewer options, or it needs to be like Dark Souls, in my opinion, where it's like it just throws you into the world and says, okay, you need to touch the top tower, you need to go to the bottom tower, and everything in between is up to you in terms of how you get there. But the thing about it is the Dark Souls world isn't completely open. Like, you have paths you have to take. So, that's just one of the things that's my pet peeve with Fallout. But honestly, they look like, I mean, great games. It's just something I'm not going to touch because it's not my forte. So, feel free to disagree with me. Okay. So really and truly, there's only, we only need to touch on the Windows 10. We have the backwards compatibility that's coming out for Xbox.
And hip hip hooray, because Xbox got more than just a small library.
Yes, the library will be growing with our votes and stuff as the games get, put out. And so, there was that. Windows 10 is coming out for Xbox this holiday, and that's going to add Cortana to the list of being able to just say, like, oh, Cortana, invite Bill and Bob to the party, and it's just going to be done. You don't have to, like, wait for the thing to load. It's all going to be super quick. Looks awesome. I'm really excited for that. It also comes with a lot of integration with the computer. And that's E3 technically. I think that happened in E3, so we're going to include it in that list.
Well,
and so
I'm gonna say one more thing, but that after that.
What?
Well, you've been talking about it, and I've been holding my fingers up.
I don't understand what 3 means.
Dark Souls 3. How are you anticipating for that game, or are you just like
See, my only problem is I haven't played Dark Souls 2 yet. I love the Dark Souls, the first one. The second one I haven't touched, so I want to look forward to playing the third one, but I haven't even touched the second one yet. So that's another game that, I'm looking forward to, but, with all Battlefront, Halo, with so many games coming out, Gears, I have a huge backlog of games to play. And so the honorable mention is the last game I want to talk about, and we are a little over on time. So Horizon Zero Dawn looks like a great concept. It looks like somebody actually took their thought and made it well. Big, like almost like dinosaurs, robots, and
It's not a Megazord.
No, but imagine just like you're hunting Megazords, but you're doing it with a bow and arrow. So part of that doesn't make sense at all. But I think that it is a new and fresh title. I think that I'm really picky with some things because I want, like, my goal would be to like go out and make video games. So I have certain things that I want to see in games. And so if it doesn't make sense to me, I don't necessarily, I don't like it when in the gameplay, she like shoots a couple arrows and then canisters are falling off. And then you're trying to figure out, like in my mind in this demo, I'm trying to figure out why do I have canisters? Oh, it's food. Okay, great. And then basically she ends up taking a part from the monster that she's trying to destroy. And then she uses that monster's own power against it and blows it up. So it's interesting. I don't want to downgrade it. It looks very pretty. The game looks good.
I don't want to downgrade it saying, oh, it's a little bit different and like you have some elements from Monster Hunter 4 by trying to take off the limb.
Yeah, I mean it's got that in it. It definitely looked interesting, and it didn't like catch my attention of like, wow, this is going to be the greatest game ever. But it definitely has its own world, its own story, and I loved the character, like the creatures themselves. Thought they were very interesting, and so I've been talking nonstop and very fast, and so I've been getting a lot of thoughts out onto this this quick fire podcast. So I know there's things I probably have missed, but overall. Horizon Zero Dawn looks very interesting to me. I really hope it turns out to be a good game. Even though it's not like right up my alley necessarily, I think that it has its own very unique world that I could get wrapped up in because it's different. It's just, I enjoy that immersion.
Yes.
So, I mean.
And besides that, we have, on the list that we have talked about in this podcast, we cannot wait until tomorrow to get Batman and then pretty much get later on the other games that we're interested in to see how they do well and see if we like what the developer did by playing them.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think one of the good things about being a gamer is that you get to unravel the story yourself like a book, except for you're actually seeing it. And that's one of the things that I was telling Tanner when I was reading the Game Informer about Halo 5. I was like, Tanner, these are the people I read about in the book back years ago when I read Fall of Reach, when I was like 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there, and I was reading about these characters, and I was just like, these sound so cool. And then here we are, I mean, goodness, yeah, 8 years later, 9 years later, these characters are now like they have faces, they have names, like it's all together. They have their own armor set. It's just, it's all coming together, and it's so exciting to see. And so that's what I hope that is like something that we can enjoy in games, is seeing things come to life that we didn't think would be possible, or like taking books and just making them into great games. And like Metro 2033, I know Taylor doesn't like it. I know Christian does not like it.
I don't know about it.
But here's my thing about it. I love it because it's a book that's turned into a game, and it stays true to the book as far as I know. Like some games it's like, oh, I'm here to kill things, and I have no, it's like Destiny. You walk in, you shoot the bad guy, you leave.
You barely have a story. Right.
Whereas Metro 2033, it actually puts you into this character. And so you don't, if you're somebody that likes shooters and you want intense action every 2 seconds, you're not going to get it. it's actually this character's walk through the world. And so that's why I enjoy it, is because it's a journey. You actually, the monsters you meet along the way, you're like, holy crap, like these are new and interesting, and like, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Do I shoot them? It's very unique, and that's why I like Metro 2033, is because instead of it saying instead of it making you feel like, hey, you're a gamer, you want to play this game, it says, no, come join my world. This is the world of Artenet. I don't even know how you say his name, is Artenem or something like that. And you basically are living, you're playing the game through his eyes, through the main character's eyes, and that is what I think is really cool. Like Master Chief, they give you all, you are the control, you are Master Chief. Whereas in this, it's like you are playing as Artenem, and it's seeing it through his eyes instead of having the story just unfold because you just shot everything to death, and so the story works. It has a deeper meaning.
Yeah, like I was contrasting like that. You're going through the journey of Sora in Kingdom Hearts, how he's going to each world, trying to save it from Heartless. Yeah. Some reason I wasn't saying that right. And you after meeting the bosses and fighting them, and then later fight the later boss, you kind of get through it, learn more of the story, and even through the little mini talk text things and the cutscenes, you pretty much go through this with Sora.
Yeah. And that's the good thing about third person, is like you feel like you watch the character and you develop it that way, and you feel like you're on the journey with them. And so that is a little off topic of what we were initially talking about E3, but
basically what I said earlier, we are very excited from what we've heard from E3. Here, if you looked it online later that day when it was aired on Spike, or watched it, it's very good. We are excited for the future games to come out.
Overall, best E3 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just totally the best E3 I've ever seen. I'm very thankful for it. Really looking forward to the future. Especially this year, Microsoft and Sony both had huge conferences, and Nintendo's wasn't really anything to die for. But
all they had was Star Fox, and that was pretty much about it.
But Star Fox is good.
Yeah,
we'll
he's a good character. I wish they would bring back Metroid instead of doing the spin-off Metroid game.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, guys, it's been great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. You guys have probably heard me talk a mile a minute for the last 40 minutes now. So we're going to sign out here. It was good talking to you. It's good to be back on the podcast.
And hopefully we'll come back and stay and become SP... I'm messing up the abbreviation for us coming back as hosts.
Yeah, the part-time host. The PTH is what they called us. Very interesting name they gave us without our knowledge, so we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yo, bye from the PTHs. We're out of here. Peace.
No, it's not.
It's over. I'm telling you, it is for real. Because I have to get ready to go.
Go where?
To chill.
Alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. About to go Poe it up. turned up. Better get turned up at Applebee's. You
Hey,
know what I mean?
wait, I can't play this mission. I can't invite you to this game, can I?
What game?
This game of Payday, huh?
What? No, you can't invite me because I have to leave.
But do I need help? Dang it.
I'm sorry. Are you?
I
So
don't-
when are you gonna be? When are you gonna be back on?
Probably like 11 your time.
I'll try to get on for a little bit. I can't stay up too late because I have church tomorrow,
And
and I have to go to church. What do you mean? And
you can stay up late and still go to church?
it's hard for me to get sleep. Okay, I need sleepy.
You're annoying.
Shut up. Since like the 2D
I have to pee.
era, really?
Yeah, so just keep talking, but I'm just going to be in the bathroom. I'm not going to
keep
answer you for like
talking.
10 seconds.
Keep going. Just hurry up.
Just talk.
I'm not talking.
I just peed all over the toilet seat, dude. Oh my gosh.
Gross.
Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear you peeing all over the toilet seat.
What? Sometimes it misses.
Sit down on the toilet.
Really?
Really? The only time
Do
you're
you think
supposed to stand up at a toilet is when you're at a urinal.
Yeah, but I don't like I had the controller in my hand. I don't want to pull my pants down and hold my controller. It's too much work.
Put your controller down when you go to the bathroom.
Nah, it's too much work. That's too much
Tuck
work
it
in
in
itself.
your shirt or something.
Huh?
Tuck it into your shirt.
I should just make a toilet seat out of my my chair I sit in and play Xbox.
Just drill a hole in the bottom and put a bucket underneath.
That sounds absolutely terrible, dude.
Alright, what was I talking about?
Street Fighter 5, you're probably just not gonna buy it. I mean, you're just never gonna.
Yeah,
You've never really been
let's
into it.
Move on.